should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is of course a very longstanding policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point, and we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic, research, and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
There's a very big difference between whiteness and national, like your actual culture, right? Whiteness is an imaginary thing. Being German is real. Being Italian is real. Being English. These are rich cultural heritages that are based on values, and they are so much a part of what make our cultures and our societies what they are.
So you're telling me that AOC has a degree in international relations, but she can't pass a 6th grade geography test?
It doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war just because the nation is below the equator.
Once again, Charlie Kirk was right, and college is a scam.
I feel like it's about to get worse.
No, we look at what happened in Venezuela, for example. It is not a it is not a remark on who Maduro was as a leader. He canceled elections. He was an anti-democratic leader. That doesn't mean that we can kidnap a head of state and engage in acts of war.
I saw these video clips of AOC in Munich. She's not ready for prime time.
And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point. And
yes, everybody would like to make sure we never get to the point where China attacks Taiwan and we're faced with the choice of whether we intervene militarily. We all know that. The question was, what will you do? What should the United States do in the event that China does attack Taiwan militarily?
We want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic, research, and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
I'm sorry, she's a joke, at least when it comes still to foreign policy. I'll leave everything else aside since we're focused on that.
But this is straight out of like standard Democratic Party establishment blob playbook. So there's that. There's the substance of it that I object to. And then I watched her entire commentary here. I watched all the, the panels she did, et cetera. And I will just say from a presentation perspective, she's so clearly very uncomfortable.
She's out of her element.
You know what happened here. Her staff is like, if you want to be in position to run for president, you need to do this. You need to build out like your foreign policy chops. So we're going to send you to this conference. And it did not go well. It has the feel to me of someone who, hasn't fully fleshed out their own worldview. So they've received briefings. They've got, a binder of prep materials, and they're trying to memorize the notes of what that said versus being nimble enough in their ideology to respond to the questions that are being asked. And that's how you make a slip up. Like, I don't want to read too much into it, but that's how you make a slip up, like saying Trans-Pacific Partnership rather than Transatlantic Alliance, because rather than articulating your worldview, you're trying to remember what you memorized. So she was very shaky. She was totally out of her element and very uncomfortable up there the whole time.
We do, though. We need to have higher standards for Democrats. That's a false option. I agree with you in regard to the Trump administration's penchant for war. I think that's very clear right now. But in regard to Democratic candidates, we have to stop providing cover for their mediocrity. That answer was terrible, and you know it. So don't provide cover for it.
So tell me what you think would have been a more acceptable answer.
Well, a sensible answer would have been exactly what you said, which you claim she said, but she didn't say that. You read that from her statements, but her statement was more than just clamoring. It was just a bunch of word salad nonsense because she's not an expert on foreign policy. This is a weak spot for her. So this is an area where she should have done a lot more homework before deciding to speak at the Munich Security Conference as she did at this panel. She didn't know what she was talking about. She was blindsided by the question, and it doesn't look good. Let's just be honest about it rather than providing cover for it. That's what I'm saying. Because look, 100%. Honestly, the quality of candidates has been really bad lately. And it's because of this like left versus right media structure where the left provides cover for left-wing candidates, the right provides cover for right-wing candidates. And in the end, the American people suffer because we get nothing but mediocre, terrible candidates.
I agree with Anna, and I don't agree with her much, but I actually agree with her there. Watching this, I'm not gonna lie to you, it made me cringe. Watching, I'm just this is bad. This is bad. But it did remind me of, when you pull up, you go to school and you find out like, hey, there's a pop quiz and you're not prepared. That's what this reminded me of. Celeste, I'll give you the first word. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm always looking in my life for sage wisdom from the bartender. So I was happy to see that she was able to provide that. First of all, the answer to the question, and I am not a foreign policy expert, but the answer to the question is that Taiwan is our ally, and we have certain obligations to our allies with our NATO partners. And should China invade, we would have to work with our NATO partners, depending upon the scope of the invasion, to determine what the proper, resolution to that could be. You could get out of that as easy as that and move on. Because to be honest, nobody probably really knows exactly what we should do because the event hasn't happened. You can say that, but you can say these are the contexts that we would have to at least begin to approach an event such as that. That's number one. But first of all, Anna Kasparian, I think, as much as we agree with the mediocrity, I think she is purposefully left something out. Her partner, Cenk Uygur, was a major funder for the Justice Democrats. AOC came to political life because she sent an audition tape to the Justice Democrats to be an actress who could act like a congressperson. So it is not surprising that now that she apparently won the audition and is now acting like a congressperson, that we will see these moments when she fails to actually be a congressperson because she is in fact just a person acting as a congressperson. And I think Anna Kasparian purposefully left that out as to not indict herself and show her own culpability. But to be honest, as far as the people of New York are concerned, I don't understand why they didn't boot AOC out after she ran Amazon out of her district. I think it was something like 110,000 jobs. And these were going to be jobs at above $60,000 a year that she apparently thought her district, and most of it, I believe, is in the Bronx, was far too rich to have. They were so rich that they needed to rely on their principles and not on any money. So the fact that they continue to keep her there and keep her acting in Congress is her theater and where she performs her stage shows. Apparently they must like it and they must be okay with it. And I can just say this, maybe they haven't completely killed her career, but hopefully this will end whatever prospects she had for running for president.
Listen, when you go to the Kamala School of Word Salad, I'm just saying.
Come on, Krista.
This is what happens. This is exactly what happens. Because whiteness is fake, but German, that's culture. No Americans, there's no such thing as Americans. There's whiteness. Like, what was she even talking about? And the amount of videos that I saw of her, I was like you, Wise. I was cringing. I was literally like, girl, please get off the stage. Like, stop talking. In fact, why are you over there? Who sent you over there? Why aren't you over here doing what you're supposed to do? Y'all done shut down the funding for what is it, DHS funding, but then y'all want to be out here in other countries talking? No, take your butt back where you belong, because you do not belong on the world stage. You embarrassed yourself 100 times over. You don't know that Venezuela is above the equator. Like, I mean, that's something simple. It's very simple. Very, very simple. But she didn't even know that. I mean, even the fact when she tried to rag on Marco Rubio, when he said about the Cowboys' heritage started in Spain, and she was like, well, they need to speak to the Mexicans and African enslaved people. And I was like, why is she talking about enslaved people? Listen. The problem with this situation is her word salad, her imbecile behavior, and all of that is just qualifying her more to run for president in the Democratic Party. Let's just be real. It just qualifies her more. They're like, oh my gosh, she's perfect. We need to raise her up more. That's literally what they will do. So and listen, I'm like Tatum and the rest of them. Please let her run, because this is very entertaining. I will have laughs for days. I'll have content forever. Okay, I'll have plenty of content when she speaks. So let her run, because especially a Marco Rubio or a JD Vance or whoever runs in 2020, they will eat her alive. So let her do it. Go ahead, AOC. And Celeste said she's surprised they didn't run her out of New York when she
ran Amazon out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they ain't run her out of New York when she tried to pretend she was Jenny from the block but she was really from Westchester.
Yeah, from Westchester. Exactly.
Oh, girl.
Because she should have been run out for that. All I'm saying is, go ahead. Do your thing, AOC. You got my support, girl. Go ahead, do it.
The debate will be amazing.
It's the 2027 Democratic primary debate is going to be awesome.
Hilarious.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be good for us for sure. Definitely. Minister Danzel, I'll give you the next word.
Hey, listen, correct me if I'm wrong. And first of all, Crystal, you need to stay out of my head, man. I mean, really, I'm getting tired of you taking my thoughts.
Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. That's the Holy Spirit.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Taiwan is a world leader in certain microtechnology. And I mean, literally, the world relies on it, and so the U.S. is going to protect their interests. And AOC, as a political leader, should know this. I mean, these are just basic things she should know. But this is not the first time she screwed up, as Chris was saying. Like Kamala Harris, when you take away the notes and the teleprompter, the DEI comes out. I'm with all of you. I hope that she does wrong, and I hope she get on that stage and they make mincemeat out of her, because this is the only way that their constituents is going to see the kind of dummies that are representing them. And I love it when they show them their constituency, because they always talk about my constituency. I'm doing this for my constituency. Well, your constituency need to know that you ain't got no sense.
Right. The thing I did appreciate though, Minister Danzel, and you say this all the time: ask them a question, sit back, let them speak.
Come on.
That's exactly what happened. I'm a firm believer. Let people talk long enough, they'll show you who they are. They asked the question, they let her speak, and they didn't even try to sell her, didn't try to save her, they didn't try to bail her out. Just, hey, you flush this thing out however you see fit. Right. And she just she was digging and digging. Yeah, she did. Travis, what are your thoughts, bro?
I'm gonna take a different approach. David Chappelle had a skit long time ago, back when we all were young, when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yes.
She wanted to be so deep. She wanted to be so. I tell a lot of people, and Minister can attest to it. When you got them collars on, you got a lot of people that's in the back that wants to sound so intellectually deep.
Oh yeah.
And then you just sit there and look at them like when she started, I'm literally like, spit it out, spit it out, give me something, anything, but you can't give me what ain't there. But it also goes back to, like they said, the political climate of where we at right now. I tell a lot of people, even when we look into today's time, we got a businessman running the country, but you want him to be political. You get what you get. I don't have an issue with anything because my life is going to be governed by God, but
Amen.
you can't expect somebody to speak a certain way when they don't even live that way. Like, how can you do that? And so now we prop her up. Like you said, you give her cards. We all know how the situation go. You get your QR cards and you got all this stuff, and then you sit there. Now you want to act like I can, in all words, eisegesis and exegesis this text. No, you need to read this text as I gave it to you. But see, when people try to get deep, and like you say, I'm the type of individual, if I go to talk to somebody, because I'm not a big small talk person. So if you talk to me, you need to talk to me, or I'm going to be like, you are wasting my time. And I love how they all sat there. Nobody interjected. I want to hear you speak. So now I can see who you really are. I'm waiting. Give it to me. Or you can't. But again, it goes back to our political climate. Like you say, let me put you up here. You know, I hate to say it, even with Megan Thee Stallion twerking for Kamala, it's just the political climate of let me dumb them down because this is where they think we are. You know, that's the narcissistic ways of how this political climate goes because you think I'm that dumb.
Yes.
Let me let her go twerk. Let me let her go. Like, why would I let my daughter watch? I want to teach you to be president. Oh, you could be the first president of the United States as a woman. Oh, she's twerk. I don't want my daughter to live like that. You know, so now we're looking at this lady, you know, they give her the look, she got the image, all of that, but you can't, you just word vomiting right now. You're just saying stuff that doesn't even make sense. And so now we end up getting stuck with a race where it's like, man, we look where we lost again. We lost. No, you didn't, you got landslided. That's what happened. It was a landslide.
Absolutely. I mean, what we're seeing, what we're witnessing right now is the dysfunction of the left. And they are showcasing on a day-to-day basis that the bench is non-existent essentially. And the people that they want to push up, they're not who they need to be, and they're not who they say they are.
Yeah.
I guess you could say we've been unburdened by what has been. And to get where we're going, we must get there. From the past to the present to the future, all around. It's like those GIFs and memes of you get the job after lying on your resume, right? Like you're here now, you're in Munich, and they're asking you questions that you don't know the answer to. And I felt it was one of those moments where nobody could make eye contact with each other, even in the room. Like if they did the slow pan around the room, everyone just had their heads down because this is actually embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the United States of America. And it would be like inviting me to talk to you about foreign policy because I don't know what I'm talking about. You see, I'm not going to put myself in a position to give an answer on something I don't know what I'm talking about because that would just be so embarrassing. And you know, what I like about Trump, I forget which gentleman said, you know, we got a businessman running the country, but when someone asks him a question, you know, they ask him about the oil. What are you going to do with that oil? Well, we're going to keep it. What are you going to do with the bad guys that come in? Well, we're going to shoot them. We're going to kill them, right? You say, so an easy answer would have been like, listen, we're the United States of America. And when it comes down to it, we're going to do what needs to be done. So there's the answer to your question.
That part.
We got problems. We're just going to do what needs to be done. You don't need to think, but like you said, she forgot her lines. She forgot her lines. She knows what to say about Palestine and the border. You know, but you mentioned Taiwan. That's out of her. She doesn't know. So I'm trying to think of all the right words to say instead of just saying, well, we're America. We're going to get it done.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
But brilliant. We've been unburdened by what has been. And all the word salad. She made Kamala seem like a savant in the English language. That's what she made Kamala seem like just now with this production.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when she made the comment in reference to, you know, the wealth tax, taxing the billionaires and things of that nature, and she giggled about it. I'm like, what person in their right mind that is a billionaire, that is, you know, multimillionaire would donate to her campaign? Who would do that? Made absolutely no sense to me, but you're absolutely right. She has a few talking points that she really knows. Hey, tax the rich, you know, hey, socialism is good, and orange man bad. You know, she can. She's there. Oh yeah, and you know, illegal immigrants. You know, they're just people that should just be over here. We need to fast track them to citizenship. But yeah, it was crazy. But I want to hear from you guys in the comment sections. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family, or you can buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. As you can see, I got my Pray Don't Worry hoodie on. So if you don't have one of these, go get you one of those. That link's in the description box or down below. Come check us out, support us. I promise you, this is a good purchase. It's hoodie season. This thing is soft, it's comfortable. I'm loving it. But join us Tuesday, Friday for ARP in the morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if it's your first time in the chat, please let us know so we can properly welcome you to the show. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. Then the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.